Do you feel like time just moves so fast? I feel like I blink and weeks turn to days, turn to years. It just happens so fast. And here we are. It's time for another monthly weight loss update. And I am so excited to be sharing my July 2021 weight loss update. I have been on my journey for a little over a year now, and I started with over 200 pounds to lose. I have less than 150 pounds to lose now, and I'm just happy. I am happy. I feel like I am in such a good place mentally, physically. While I'm not the size I want to be and I am not what I would consider healthy, I have so much mobility that I just feel happy. Like I feel happy and proud to be me, and that's pretty powerful. In this video, we are gonna go over July. We're gonna go over my wins, things I could have done better. We're gonna go over the amount of weight that I lost, if I lost any weight, and all of the normal monthly things. We are back in that groove, baby, back in the groove. It has been a minute. As always, there is a description. There is a description down below, that is true. There is also a jump around menu if you would like to jump throughout the video. Let's get into it. I am happy. I have said that 1,000 times now in this video already. I am happy. I am happy with who I am. I am happy with my day-to-day life. I am happy where we live. It feels good to be here. It also feels strange after all of the anxiety. July came and I just started looking at all of the things I had actually achieved and looking through the things I had gone through, the things that I've overcome, the things that I've worked through, and I just got super happy. There's that word again. I got super happy, and I really started patting myself on the back a lot, and not without reason, but I also, in the process of doing that, really leaned into taking this relaxed approach to my weight loss journey. I had gotten so worked up, I paused so that I could essentially move. It was just a couple weeks. And then I got here and I just struggled. I was trying to do everything that I knew how to do to have progress. I was plateauing. It was very frustrating for me. I still have lots of swelling in my body, but it was like it's a discomfort thing. Like it's not as comfortable as I could be. Now I'm exponentially more comfortable than I was before. All of that being said, let's talk about July. In July, and you guys have heard me in several of my videos, I've been walking. I feel like I walk all of the time. And I have been like, we go to yoga all of the time, and we consistently go to yoga and I consistently walk. In my mind, it feels like I'm doing that like 10 times more than I actually am. In my mind, I had done all of this stuff, and I have done quite a bit. And I improved significantly over June, but I thought I was doing more than I was doing in June as well. June, I averaged a whopping 5,638 steps per day. Miles wise, that equates to a little over 2 miles a day. And intentional workouts, I average just under a mile a day. So like that means intentionally I am going to walk. And that was a culmination of, we moved, like moving days and like different things. And then days where I barely walked at all. So, and then other days where I walked quite a bit. And I've never done this before. I wish I would have done this all along. In July, I walked 7,952 steps per day on average. And that is a little over 3 miles a day on average. That includes me walking a little less than 2 miles per day on average as a workout. So that means like when I say I'm walking 2 miles a day for a workout, or like lately I've been trying to get 3 to 5 miles in a day, then that is the amount of time that I go and I am briskly walking. It isn't like me walking around Walmart or walking around the house, whereas like the total mileage that I'm sharing here, so like the over 3 miles a day is total. So what I want to see some changes here for next month. And I think that this data really drives home what I have been saying about myself, that I don't move enough. I do not move enough throughout the day. Like, I need to move more. I need to move so much more. So I have been so upset because I'm in this plateau, and I haven't really been that upset. I've been like on a 1 to 10 point scale. My plateau at times will get up to like 8, 9, as in bothering me that much. But most of the time I've been working on just being and like continuing my habits and not getting overstressed and not getting overwhelmed. And I still do get overwhelmed. I still do feel frustrated, but I've been working on walking it back and not being triggered and not spiraling. And I've done very well at that. And I would not take that back or change that. A recent video, that quote from the song by Trevor Hall, "You can't rush your healing." And to me, that isn't like an excuse like, oh, I'm doing terrible because you can't rush your healing. It's, I'm working on myself, and the weight loss is not my priority. Sustaining weight loss is my priority. Sustaining the weight that I lose is my priority. I do not and will not do anything that is going to compromise progress that I've made. I am not going to trigger myself. I am not going to go back into yo-yo dieting and having that anxiety, that constant anxiety that I'm going to slip tomorrow and gain 50 pounds. Like, and I realized to most people, that's like, why would that be it? Like, why would you like mess up once and then gain 50 pounds? And it's because time just goes fast. And when you are depressed or highly anxious, it's easy to like shut down and disassociate. And then time goes by, and whether you're doing good or you're doing bad, those things typically compound. So if you're making good habits and you're building like it's compounding and you're getting better and better. It's also like the opposite. When you're not doing right and when you're not doing good, it compounds. And then before you know it, time has moved on and you are way worse off than you were. And I am not letting that happen to myself in my life anymore. I am in control of it. And you know, if anything ever were to happen, then I would deal with that at that point. I'm not perfect, but I feel so confident and so secure in this foundation that I've built and in where I'm at. I am happy. And now that I have gathered the data and looked at it, I'm face to face with the fact that I am not doing as much as I could be doing, and I will be doing more. And I will be managing that and working with myself to make sure I'm not getting in like an obsessive or a triggered state. So those are 2 things that I have to personally worry about and work through. Before we segue out of talking about July, I want to talk about what went right in July and what I could have done better. The things I'm most happy about in July are my mile for time. That was a extreme high point for me. Walking it my fastest time ever, faster than I thought I was going to be able to. I just felt so good too. It's the first time I have really engaged all of the muscles that you typically engage when you walk. Like, it was funny, I was telling Yenna that my like left butt cheek hurt. So I have injuries on my left leg, and it's very hard for me to engage that side. My body doesn't quite trust it. And from that point, from doing that 1 mile forward, I have felt for the first time in years a normal gait. And I think that has to do with my body kind of recompositioning and moving things around with my body after that walk being like, hey, we have muscles here that we could be using, like in my mind, like the things that I don't have to think about because your brain just takes over and does it. Like my brain had not been telling that muscle to work, and now it does. So that is a huge win and something I'm very proud of. The other thing I'm really excited about is my husband has been on a health kick with me, and that has made life better. He's always been supportive. Now that he is doing what I'm doing, it is so much easier. It's so much easier because we're on the same page, and together we have not been going out to eat as much. We'll typically go on a date night every once in a while, but for a while we didn't in July. For a few weeks we didn't eat out at all, and then we did bring date night back. So we do go out, we go on date night, and we enjoy it. Also, with things that we've implemented, like challenging each other and going to yoga together and doing those things, my activity has increased even more, and that is very helpful. In July, I felt solid and, just as I've said many times, happy, and that is a huge win for my weight loss journey overall and for the month of July. Now let's talk about some of the things in July that I could have and should have done a little bit better. I could have done more activity. That's one. Two, I had a goal to do phase 1. I had a goal to meet with a nutritionist and do a bod pod. I did not make an appointment ever in the month of July. I really didn't think about it. I have to do that this month. In June, I was very motivated to find a counselor here in Fayetteville, and I was unable to do that. And then I just didn't even try to do that in July. The third thing that I wanted to do was the bod pod, and I didn't, and I really want to get that done, and that will go hand in hand with the nutritionist. The other part of that was phase 1. I even did a video, should I do phase 1? And I think my heart is just not in it. I just decided I'm not doing phase 1 until I feel like it. When I did 75 hard, I had to keep tabs on everything I was doing to a degree. I tracked, for 75 days, I tracked my food every single day. So I know that I'm capable. For 75 days, I was very aware of my workouts and how often I was working out, because I did it every day, and which makes that easy. Like how many times did you work out? 2 times a day for however many days you're asking me. That's easy. So I haven't done a good job keeping record, like in a way that I'm looking at it and holding myself accountable to a fitness. There's 3 months where I tracked it 100% of the time, and I would still say over the course of the year, I'm like a 30%. And that just needs to go up. And I'm not going to aim for perfection. I am not always going to track my food, and I'm not going to do my Fitness Pal. I'm just going to write it in my book. I'm gonna look things up, I'm gonna read labels and measure things out, and I'm just gonna write the calories. In August, I am tracking my food in my composition book. Something that I've never thought to do until I was making this video, actually. If I don't track my food for a day, my mission, if you will, is just gonna be to write why. Why didn't I track my food? Like, why? Did I feel stressed out? Was I feeling triggered? Was I feeling like anxiety? Was I just being lazy? Like, what is the why behind why I did it? I also want to start front loading my day, meaning I want to wake up early in the morning as opposed to what I typically do. And that is, I get to the end of the day and everything I wanted to do is still there. So I'm either not getting a ton of stuff done, or I am staying up ridiculously late, which throws everything off, and then I'm sleeping late and I'm not moving. Taking the time to try to wake up early. I want to read at least 3 books in August. I want to dedicate some time specifically to scripture study and prayer. And I want that, I'm not dedicating some time, meaning like 15 minutes in the day. Like, I want a specific time of the day that I do that, to, again, with this holding myself accountable to the habits and living the life I want to live. I'm adding activity into my weekly reports like my weigh-ins. I'm gonna share how many miles I did, and I'm also gonna share just a rough estimate, like, did I track? what percentage did I track? Doing that is selfish for me because if I share that with you and I'm committing to sharing it with you, then it's gonna help hold me accountable. So as far as details, I am not comfortable right now sharing how many calories I'm eating. I'm not gonna show people the food list. Those are things that I am keeping for myself. While I do want to make tracking a priority in that I do it, and I do it more than I have in the past, it is not, and this is like a mantra or an affirmation I need to repeat to myself. I am not striving for perfection, and it is okay. Like whatever is okay as long as I like acknowledge it and I don't act like I don't face the day like I'm doing more than I'm doing. Specifics. I want to get my mile for time as close to 17 minutes as possible. So I've listed that I want to walk a mile in less than 17 minutes and 10 seconds. To increase and walk an average of 10,000 steps per day, I want to have my exercise miles average at least 3 miles a day. So, and that includes like if I'm not, like on Sundays, let's say it's kind of an off day, so I just walk the pups and not really counting anything. At the end of the month, when I do the average, when those days are off, I still want the average to be 3. So I'm sure that makes sense. So I was very insecure about working out with FitLab, and it has absolutely nothing to do with him. He is amazing. It had a lot to do with my plateau. I didn't want to start working out with Aaron and then everyone on YouTube be like, you're only being successful because you have a trainer. And that's for a couple reasons. One, I don't feel like I have to have a trainer to be successful. 2, I don't feel like you have to have a trainer to be successful. However, I do think that everyone can benefit from a trainer. I wanted to break through the plateau on my own, and I have. I also want in August to do a 3 mile for time video. I want to, or maybe it won't be a video, but I want to do 3 miles for time and have 3 miles in under 54 minutes. So those are my August goals. Now, I just brought it up. Let's go ahead and do the weigh-in portion of today's video. So this week I lost 1.2 pounds. I weighed in at my lowest weight to date at 296.8 pounds. This is the lightest I have been on my weight loss journey. I'm so incredibly excited to be here. I feel like I'm in a good place, and that's why I set the goal, like I want to start training with Aaron by September 1st, or be prepared to start training with him September 1st. I feel like I wanted to start losing. I wanted to be in the place where I am before I started. And I mean, it's silly. Being in that place is silly. Not like putting off training with him for the reasons I did is silly. But it's the way I felt, and I feel like my feelings are valid. That being said, let's look at my measurements and my side-by-sides. This is usually my favorite part of this video, so let's do it. On June 30th, I weighed 303 pounds. My weight was still fluctuating a little bit. On August 4th, I weighed in at 296.8 pounds, and my weight has not been fluctuating like it was. I have lost inches, not very much last measurement to this measurement, but of course, starting to now, I have lost quite a bit, and I'm very proud of that. I'm starting to get saggy skin in certain places, which is scary and awesome all at the same time. I always love these side-by-side comparisons because I can really see how the weight that my body is still holding on to is like shifting around. I do wish, part of me wants to like tape my floor and make myself stand a certain way. I'm really thinking about doing that. So that way I'm standing the same way, because these last 3 months, I'm not as consistent as I was where I lived before. Where I lived before, I had a spot on the floor that I just remembered and stood at. So anyway, I am so proud. I can tell my body has shifted so much, especially in my face, my neck, my extremities. Like my wrist woke up a couple weeks ago and they were like, half the size. I am so excited about my progress and the change in my physical appearance and the change in my strength. It really is so encouraging being able to move about freely and more evenly between my sides. And while, like I said, especially in these pants, I need to get some new pants. These are so baggy in certain places. They're leggings, so they're not supposed to be baggy. And because I'm getting looser skin, I need more compression-oriented clothes, I feel like. So that's it. A good problem to have. A good problem to have. I am just so excited. And man, I'm just happy. I just did my podcast episode with Tattoo Barbie, and she did the work. She did the work to overcome her binge eating disorder. She did the work to become more comfortable in her skin, more comfortable moving around. And that is what I have been focused on doing my entire journey, is focused on finding ways to be kinder and gentler and lose the weight that I need to lose in a sustainable way. And I have grown so much. All of that being said, you are worth doing the work in order to achieve your fitness goals, in order to become the best version of you. Maybe that looks like counseling. Maybe that looks like a nutritionist. Maybe that looks like scouring the interwebs for as many articles that you can read. And for therapists, there's a few therapists that I follow on Instagram who are constantly posting affirmations and questions to ask yourself. That alone has helped me a lot. There are so many resources available, and it's not cookie cutter. Like, we don't all need the same things. The work is individual. It's an individual thing. The work I need to do is for me, and is based off of my life and circumstance, as will your work be, like what you need to do. But I do want to say again, you are worth doing the work. You are worth living your healthiest, brightest life that you possibly can right now, today. You are worth being gentle and kind to yourself and accepting limitations that you currently have in a non-judgmental way. And you are worth setting your goals high and reaching for the stars. You are worth the work. You are worth living your healthiest, happiest, brightest lives that you can right now, today. And that's why I love July, because I feel like I've been doing little things to become happier. In July, I just was happy. In July, I just was happy. I'm happy with me. I'm happy with the work that I'm doing. I'm happy with and proud of who I am, and I'm just happy. And I want you to be happy too. So if you need some positive words, I hope that these are them. You are beautiful, and you are worth it. You are worth being kind to yourself, and you're worth the work. I love you so much, and I'm so grateful for you on my journey. I'm so grateful for you. Look forward to seeing you next time. If you haven't and you would like to follow along on my weight loss journey, click that subscribe button, ding the bell, and I will see you next week.